Hello everybody. I know it's been a while. It's been, what, 2 months since I've uploaded a video. But today, probably like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I uploaded a video on what my current fishing tackle was and what I had and all of that. So, I've gotten way more into fishing since then. I've got a lot more stuff. So today I was thinking I'll just show you all my baits, lures, and rods, and what my favorite lures and stuff are for different scenarios and different water columns. So with that, let's get started. So this is my first box, well, one of the boxes that I have, and it is all my crankbaits, jerkbaits, frogs, and all my topwater and like crankbaits and stuff. And lately, for throwing topwater, for largemouth and smallmouth, out on the river, I've been throwing probably one of my favorite baits, the black Guggen Squad revolver. It's just such a good bait. It provides such a great deep plopping sound, and it's just when on the river there was a lot of weeds and stuff, and it was just so hard for this bait to not stop spinning. Like most of the whopper ploppers, they would catch a weed or something and stop spinning, but not the revolver. This thing would just chug along. So if I'm going topwater, I'm saying probably the revolver in first. And then another bait that I loved was this Weston. It's purple, and I don't know what the name of it was, but it has two fins like this, two blades, whatever you call them, that spin and pop. So it creates a very like high-pitched fling, and it like flings the water really high. So this was another good bait, and yeah, it's probably one of my favorites to throw out there just for fun. So those are probably my two like favorite topwater baits for out on the river, that is. But if we're talking about going out to ponds and stuff, my favorite bait to throw is a frog. I haven't thrown this yet, but I have the Guggen Squad Eat Me frog, and this is just such a perfect color. I love this color so much. So this is probably going to become one of my favorites, but currently, hang on, let me grab it. It's on my rod right now. My favorite topwater lure is the Ozark Trail green frog. Hang on, I'm getting it right now for you guys. All right. This is by far my favorite bait. Pond topwater to throw. The Ozark Trail frog. It's relatively small, as you can see here, compared to my hand, and even compared to the Guggen Squad frog. Like, it is pretty tiny. But it just is such a fun lure to throw. Relatively small. If you guys don't know, I caught my biggest PB largemouth in a pond on this frog. 6 pounds, 2 ounces. And ever since then, this has been my go-to for pond fishing. And I've caught a lot of fish on this frog. As you can see, it's pretty destroyed and stuff. So this is probably one of my favorite pond hopping topwater lures. So other than that, I have a lot of crankbaits. If I'm being honest with you, I don't throw crankbaits very often. I hardly ever throw crankbaits. I just don't. If I'm throwing middle column or bottom, I'm usually either throwing a jig or a worm. So I just have a ton of them, but I don't use them that often. So, let me know if I should start throwing crankbaits, and if that's something you guys want to see some more fishing content with throwing different lures that I just don't normally use and seeing if we can catch fish on them. So that kind of covers this box. I have jerkbaits too, but I also don't throw those. All of them are old and stuff. So with that, on to the next box. So this is my next box. This is my terminal tackle, along with my just kind of some of my trout lures, but also just like some of my nice miscalculated like topwater. So like I have my Guggen Squad popper here. And now if I'm ever throwing a popper, this is my go-to. I like throwing poppers usually early mornings and stuff. They're fun to throw. So this is usually my go-to popper, the Guggen Squad. I forget what the name of it is, but in this white color is awesome. And I recently just got this, what is it, a spook, I think it is, walking bait. top water in one of my mystery tackle boxes, and I haven't gotten to throw it yet. It's actually really big if you see here compared to my hand. So it's a big bait, so I mean, I don't know really when to throw it. Probably out on the pond sometime, or even out on the river. So if I ever get out to it, let me know if you guys want to see me film a video where I throw this thing around and try to catch some fish. So, I mean, those are my only topwater baits. In here I have, like, some Rebel craws and spinners and more trout stuff, but I also have a lot of terminal tackle. So, I have these really expensive but really cool miniature bullet weights. I mean, they're just so fun because I can put these on a trout rod or even just my ultralight, and I'll throw these around with, like, something. And these are really fun to make, like, little Texas rigs. And now, if I'm being honest with you, one of my favorite things to throw, like, out middle column is just the good old finesse worm. Either on a black jig head like this. I mean, I forget what weight this is, but just a nice old finesse worm. And I'll get to my soft plastics just now. But a good finesse worm on this thing is just so much fun to throw. When we're out on the river or even just ponds, throwing a finesse worm on a jig head, or even, where is it? I don't know if I have any more, but here we go. Circle hooks, throwing them on circle hooks. Put the finesse worm on the circle hook. This one's really big, so I don't normally put them on this big of a circle hook, but a circle hook about this size, not this size, but a little bit smaller, and just throwing a finesse worm on here with a bullet weight or something, or just a drop shot, like probably a foot or two above it, and just tossing out there and just jigging it. So like, I've caught so many good fish on it, and it really, really does work. I don't throw Texas rigs too often. They're just not my favorite rig, if I'm being honest, to throw. Like, I have all sorts of EWG hooks and stuff, and some of these weird hooks. I mean, I have lots of them. I just don't throw Texas rigs often, if I'm being honest. There's just, I mean, my go-to is finesse worms and stuff like that. Or, I mean, I'll throw a Texas rig sometimes if I'm throwing a craw, but that's about all. That's about all for this box. I have lots of hooks and stuff and jig heads, different varieties of jig heads. These ones are brand new, I just got. Bullet weights and stuff. All sorts of just, basically just terminal tackle in this box. So, with that, I think just move on to the next box. So this is my final box, really. This is my, if I can open it, my jig box and my spinnerbait box. My favorite jig, like my favorite thing to throw is, if I'm being honest with you, I love this little jig right here. I forget what it's called. It's, I have the package somewhere around here for it. But this little jig, awesome little jig to throw. So much fun. It's just for largemouth out in lakes is what I normally throw, but even smallmouth, I've caught a couple smallies on this. Me and my friend had a challenge at the river a couple weeks ago where we just went out and we picked bait for each other, and he picked this for me, and it was actually really fun. So maybe we'll film one of those on the channel for you guys. Just let me know. Now, another really one of my favorite baits to throw after going to the river with my friend, chatterbaits. Now, they're just their own kind of bait. I mean, they're just so much fun to throw. I actually have a mini Z-Man chatterbait. I don't exactly know where it is, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know where I put it, but the mini chatterbait and even just big chatterbaits are just so much fun to throw. I love throwing the chatterbait. You can get some monsters on them. So yeah, they're probably in my top baits for bottom baits. Then I also have my spinner baits, my big bass spinners, and let's be real here, I never, and I mean never, ever throw big bass spinner baits. I don't know if it's just a hidden gem that I'm missing out on or something, or I'm just not doing anything right, but I've never ever caught anything on them, and they're just really not my thing. I don't enjoy throwing them. I just not very optimistic about catching anything on them. So, let me know down below if you guys have ever caught anything on a big bass spinnerbait, or if I should try throwing them. So that's really just what this box is, just my jigs and spinnerbaits. So I guess I'll move on to my soft plastics now. Alright guys, so I have tons and tons, and I mean just tons of soft plastic baits. So I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to show you what my favorite soft plastics are that I'm currently using. Right now, I keep all my soft plastics in this KVD bag. Probably I mean, it can hold, it says 20 bags, but I fit like 30 in here. Great bag, absolutely love it. Really strong. I mean, it's just an awesome bag. So with that out the way, let's start with worms, if I'm being honest with you. Some of my favorite worms to throw, I'm just saying it, black Yumdinger, any kind of Yumdinger. The Yumdinger itself, it's just the go-to worms. I love the Yumdinger. Probably one of the first worms I ever bought. I mean, I got probably 4 packs of these black ones. They're just some of the best that I've ever thrown. I love throwing Yumdingers. Also have these Z-Man elastics. They're just, they're Z-Man baits. They're good. They're super, super strong. But they just, I just don't use them very often. They don't have any, like, good smell. They don't have any, like, Yumdingers. They're very oily, have a, like, smell to them. These, not oily whatsoever, usually very dry. They're just not my favorite. I don't throw them too often, but I have them just in case because they're a good worm. Good swim baits. Swim baits I don't throw too often, but if I ever throw swim baits, I'm either throwing the Keychick. I don't really know how to spell it, but it's a Tennessee shad. They're about 3.8. I don't normally throw anything bigger than 3.8 inch, maybe 4 inch swim baits. They're good. I'll usually throw them on a Texas hook or a jig head, and I'll just pop them or just slowly swim them. I've caught a couple fish on them, but I don't. They're okay. If I'm moving on to like crawl baits and stuff, I use a variety of craws. I use bandito bugs are okay. I have a love-hate relationship with Guggen. They're great baits and all, don't get me wrong, but they break so easily and they're just so overpriced. They're good baits, but they're overpriced. So I'll throw the bandito bugs. I have a couple packs of them. My favorite color is the green pumpkin. You can never go wrong with it. So it's what I throw mostly for ponds and even the river, green pumpkin. I also have, where are they? I'll find them. Oh yeah, I forgot about these for swim baits. The Guggen Squad Saucy Swimmer, 3.8 inch. This color, what is it? Is it, I don't know. Does it say the color on here somewhere? I don't see the color on here. Oh yeah, wait. It is green pumpkin blue. Honestly, an awesome color. I love these swim baits. If I throw a swim bait, if I had to decide between these two, 90% of the time I'm going for this, more of a bluegill color. 90% of the time I'm going for this if I'm in the ponds or anything. Sometimes if I'm in the river, I'll throw more of like a shad color, because in the river where we are, the smallmouth, they eat more shad and different minnows and stuff that more resemble bait fish like this. But ponds, definitely going with the Saucy Swimmer. Back to worms and stuff. Yumdinger, but this is more of like a silver, red, and black color. Still a good color. Like I said, I love all the Yumdingers. These, I'm telling you, gold. The X-Zone True Center Stick with the, what is it? A white and black and red flake. And I don't know, it's like a clear color, if you can tell. It's like a clear color, and these worms, some of my favorite, I wish Yum made a color like this. They're just so good. I love this color. Really gonna need to get some more because they're just by far probably the nicest and best looking color I've seen. Also listen. Ned rigs, rattling Neds. The rattles in them, I really don't know how much they help. For putting them on a Ned rig, throwing them out in the river, it's fun and all. I just don't get, my friend really loves rattling Neds. I don't throw them too often because I just don't use Ned rigs too often. I'm normally using a finesse rig if I'm using a jig head or something. So they're okay, but I don't throw them that often. Have to get his feedback on it, on if he's caught many fish. I've caught a couple, but to me, they're not worth it. Even the rattles, I feel like they don't help that much unless it's like super dirty water and the fish can't see it all. These 13 Fishing, like, salt-cured worms, they're okay. They dry out really quickly. They're just kind of dark. I prefer most other worms over these. Going back again to craws, Kraken craw. I throw Kraken craws over the bandito bugs most of the time. The way they're much smaller, And to me, they just have better action. So I usually throw this watermelon, red flake, crack and crawl if I'm throwing a crawl. So they're my go-to for crawl baits. Normally the crack and crawl, or even, well, no. For crawl baits, I usually go Guggen. Now for out on the river fishing, whew. What are these, flukes? No, these aren't flukes, are they? I'm so confused. What are these? I think they're flukes. Yeah, they're flukes, right? Pretty sure. White flukes. Slamming them on the river. I mean, white flukes, you just cannot go wrong. Even the Guggen Squad flukes, these like, I don't know what color this is. What is it? It's a natural color, it says, but flukes out on the river, go to. I mean, I throw flukes. Me and my friend throw flukes a lot in the evening. Mostly my go-to. So, yeah. That's really it for soft plastics. Like, I have a ton more. Bluegill, Bobby Garland, crappie baits. These, like, baby shad, like, little tails. Best baits, any color. Love them. 100% for crappie and bluegill. Like I said, I have a lot more soft plastics. Craws, I mean, I have tons. So, but those were just my mains and, like, usually what I'm carrying around in my bag. So, now let's go on to rods and reels. Alright, so I'm going to go over my rods, reels, and what line I usually throw on them, and what I use each rod for. First up is my Lew's Speed Spool Classic Pro, I think it is. Love this reel. It's a great reel. I have had some issues lately where it's like really, the reeling is very stiff. Like most reels, you can hit the knob and it'll just spin forever. This, it's very stiff for whatever reason. I think it needs to be oiled and stuff. But other than that, that's the only issue I've had so far. It's on a 13 Fishing Fate Black Combo. Rod. Like this rod. It's a nice rod. The grip is nice too. Kind of wish it was cork. I love cork grips. But other than that, it's a nice rod. I think, it's carbon fiber. So it's a nice rod. It's a medium rod. It's what I throw most of my, like, top water on. I'll throw my frogs and all that on it. Most of my lighter weight bass baits I'll throw on here. So worms and all sorts of stuff like that I'll throw on this rod. So I have this. It's a left-handed bait caster because I actually am left-handed, so I prefer it. My next bait caster is it's a Cast King Cyrus, and I love this reel, if I'm being honest with you. It's so smooth. I can't remember how much it was. The Lew's was $70 with the rod, and the rod was also $70, so it was like $140 or something. This, the Ozark Trail OTX rod, I'm telling you, the best bargain for your money. Even with the reel, I think the reel and rod is like $50, $70 for the spinning combo. Buy it if you want a good bass rod that's medium heavy or just medium. Perfect rod. This is what I throw a lot of my heavier baits on, heavier top water, like jigs, and even like I have wild flopper. I'll throw the revolver on here. This is probably one of my favorites. Like I said, love the cork handle on the Ozark Trail OTX rod. Cast King reel, super smooth. This one's right-handed, which I can cast both. I just prefer left-handed. So I forgot to mention, on my Lew's, I run 17-pound fluorocarbon Berkeley Vanish. This isn't the box, but this is what I run. Berkeley Vanish, 100% fluorocarbon, 17-pound is what I throw on my Lew's. And I think I have 12. No, I think I have 17. I have the same on my Cast King. Then I have one medium, like, bass spinning rod. Now, don't judge me. This was a little bit of a weird match, but the OTX spinning reel, best spinning reel ever. I just love this thing. OTX 3000 spinning reel. I think I have 15-pound braid on here, and this is an Eagle Claw Brave Eagle gold spinning rod. Spinning rod. It's a great rod. I absolutely love this rod. I got it when I went out on a trip to Idaho. The thing is, I wish the handle was a bit longer because it does look a little bit goofy, and the colors don't really match up. But it's a great rod. I'll use this just if I'm throwing different, sometimes I'm throwing, craws and different soft plastics, and I just want to use a spinning rod. where I can't cast a bait caster necessarily, I'll use this. And I have a 15-pound braid on it. I forget the name. I think it's also, no, it's spider wire braid. And for my trout rod, I have a 13 Fishing Code White ultralight spinning rod. It's got the 13 Fishing Code White 2000 spinning reel. This reel is okay. It's not great. I mean, there's definitely way better reels out there. I think this was, what, $40 for this combo. You definitely can get better rod combos, not combos, but reels and stuff out there. So I love the rod. Cork handle, lovely rod, but the reel isn't great. But it's my main like trout combo. Usually throw this all the time. Oh, here's my favorite bait right now for the time being, just throwing everywhere. The mini chatterbait with a Bobby Garland trailer. Honestly, one of my favorite things to throw right now. Gives off kind of like a shad vibe. Mini, so kind of imitates like a baby bluegill or anything. Probably one of my favorites. So, you know, this is what I've been throwing a lot lately in the ponds and stuff. And on this rod I have, I think, 8-pound fluorocarbon as well. Yeah, I think I have 8-pound fluoro on that rod. So that's really about it. That's all of my fishing stuff right now. I mean, I have a lot more fishing stuff. It's just would take forever to show you guys and stuff. Who knows, maybe I'll do a part 2. Let me know if you guys want to see that. So, yeah, that's about all. I don't have much other stuff. Let me know if you guys want to see some more fishing content. I mean, that's what I plan on making. It's what I have fun doing. So, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.